year, DeSales, they were 17-9, 10-4 in the MAC Freedom Conference, while Wilkes 11-14, 4-10 in the MAC Freedom Conference. Both of these two teams kind of in a rebuilding year. For DeSales, they have on their roster 5 freshmen, well, 5 new players, one a transfer out of Kutztown, Aiden Elwood. And for Wilkes University, they have 7 freshmen. 6 of them will suit up tonight. Joey Zavorsky will not for the Colonels. But to look at our 2 players to watch for Wilkes University, it has to be Sean Collier. He's their leading returning scorer that is going to play tonight. Because also one of the scratches for the Colonels are their leading returning scorer from last year, which is Jake Roble, the 6'6" junior. He will not return. He will not play tonight. Collier, 8.9 points a game, 2.2 rebounds a game. He's a 92% foul shooter, one of the best in the MAC Freedom Conference out of Hershey, Pennsylvania. He's your player to watch for Wilkes University. For DeSales, your player to watch, Timmy Edwards. 15.1 a game last year, led the team in scoring, and he is the leading returning scorer, first-team All-MAC Freedom, third-team All-City of Basketball Love. He has had a terrific career here at DeSales. He's going into his senior year for the 6'5" senior at a Shermanstown, Pennsylvania Trinity High School. He also had 6.2 rebounds per game last year. A guy who can take it on the inside and on the outside for the Bulldogs. And when you look at both of these teams, 2 years ago, DeSales and Wilkes matched up in a league championship game, ball game that was played right here at DeSales, a terrific part of a championship doubleheader. This year, both of them have to rebuild a little bit, as for DeSales, they lost in the past 2 years since that championship matchup. Tracy Simsick, Matt Kacklereese, Mike Beeler, along with Kwaku Dawson-Amoa, who graduated last year. While Wilkes, they graduated Rob Pecorelli, Marcus Robinson, Tommy Bowen, and Mark Mullins. Bowen is back on the coaching staff this year for Wilkes in his first season under Izzy Metz. Metz, who's in his 7th year. He's 87-72 at Wilkes. It is first head coaching stint. He was 69-62 at his alma mater, Hobart. And the head coach for DeSales is Scott Colville. He's in his 27th year, a 1986 graduate of William & Mary. He's 494-244, only 6 wins away from his 500th win for him, as we're just about a minute and a half away from game time, as both teams finishing up their warm-ups. Also, one more scratch to make note of. No Brady Wilson for DeSales tonight, as he is recovering from an injury. And also for the Bulldogs, we'll get into the starters a little bit later, but the Bulldogs are starting 3 freshmen, a junior and a senior in Timmy Edwards. And for Wilkes, they are starting 2 juniors, a senior, a freshman, and 1 freshman. So they're also relatively young, as there's 40 seconds left on the pregame clock. We will step away for our national anthem in just a little bit, as both teams have gotten back to their benches, and they will await the national anthem. The other freshmen on the roster, new players on the roster for DeSales this year, Mason Barnes, Kristen Gooden, along with Elijah Eberly. And the freshmen for Wilkes are Matt Devenheiser, along with Joey Zavorsky and Brandon Higgins, and Jackson Schaefer. And now we will step away for just a moment for the playing of our national anthem. Now for the announcement of our starting lineups for today's game. First out for Wilkes will be number 1, Sean Kyer. He's a 6'3" junior out of Hershey, Pennsylvania, 8.9 points a game. And then is Landon Henry. Henry will wear number 11, a 5'9" senior guard, Hughesville, Pennsylvania, 2 points a game. Did not play all of last year. And then out will be Drake Marshall, 6'4" junior guard, Gainesville, Virginia, 6.2 points a game, 3.1 rebounds per game, along with Cooper Chafee, a 6'6" senior out of Liverpool, New York, 0.3 points a game last year. And then finally, the freshman, 6'7" out of Lebanon, Pennsylvania, Jason Eberhardt, 15 a game, 11 rebounds a game last year at Cedar Crest High School, out towards the middle of the state of Pennsylvania. Now the starting lineup for DeSales University. As the first out for DeSales will be one of the freshmen, Mason Barnes, number 2, 17 a game last year at Pottsville Area High School for the 6'1" guard. He'll wear number 2, 7.1 rebounds a game. And then Aiden Elwood, number 3, who scored 22.4 points a game in his senior year at Northampton High School, transferred in from Kutztown University. He will wear number 3 as a sophomore guard, along with Ryan Boylan, another freshman, 6'3", 180 pounds, at Easton, Pennsylvania, Easton High School, 15.7 points a game last year for the Red Rovers. And one of the returning starters from last year, Timmy Edwards, 6'5" senior out of Shermanstown, Pennsylvania, Trinity High School, 15.1 a game, 6.2 points a game. He will be the offensive leader for this DeSales team. And then the force in the middle, Caba Mitchell, 6'4", junior forward out of Reading, Pennsylvania, Berks Catholic High School, 5.4 points a game, 4.1 rebounds per game. Those are the starting lineups for the ball game, as both of these teams starting a couple of freshmen, which might take them a little bit of time to get into the offense, especially in the shortened season that we've seen this year. For DeSales, a new court this year. The blue alternating with the white, new logo in the middle of the court, and also new uniforms for the Bulldogs. They are in the white with the blue numbers, red piping around that, and blue piping around the sides of the jersey, and a script DSU on the side of the leg. For Wilkes, they're in the blue jerseys with red candy cane striping up the sides, yellow numbers with white piping around that, and the Wilkes logo on the side of the leg. The tip is up, and it's won by DeSales. Back to Mason Barnes. Barnes will control. On the right wing for Timmy Edwards, finds straight away Elwood. Then to the left corner for Barnes. Barnes looking for a cutting Boylan. He'll find him. Wilkes will come out in a man-to-man. Now to the left wing in Barnes. Barnes defensively on him. That is Marshall. Straight away Elwood, 8 on the clock. Elwood crossover dribble on Collier. Now driving Boylan into the lane. Puts it up. It won't fall. And the rebound by Eberhardt. Wilkes looking to push as they get it ahead to Marshall. Marshall drives in the middle, gets it back out to Eberhardt. Now they look inside of the post, but get it right back outside to Marshall. And now straight away, it will be Henry controlling with Barnes on him. Driving Collier into the lane, puts it up. That won't fall. Shot deflected by Mitchell and now knocked out of bounds off of Caba Mitchell. Great job there by Chafee to knock that off of the DeSales player, Caba Mitchell. 19:07 to go, 19 on the shot clock. On the baseline inbound for Wilkes. They're looking for Marshall coming off a screen that goes off the back of the backboard. It was tipped by Mitchell before then. It will stay with the Colonels on the other side. Officials for today's game, Chris Bohm, David Ganal, and Joseph Brogan. They throw it out long to Eberhard, and they're ready to go. Into the corner, Collier. Collier looking for the big man in the post. That's Chafee, the 6'6" senior. Driving off a screen into the corner to Collier. Puts it up. That won't fall. Boylan gets the rebound. He'll get fouled. And looking to get that foul, it will be... We'll see who that was on. It looked like they called it on number 4, who's not out on the floor. We'll see if they put that up on the scoreboard. But it looked from our vantage point that it was Sean Collier who committed that foul. But we'll see who they put up 42, Eberhard. And now Elwood will drive into the paint. will take it down low to Mitchell. Mitchell one drop step, puts it up and in. Cable Mitchell with the first bucket of the year, and that will stake DeSales with a 2-0 lead. Going into the lane, a floater will fall for Marshall. Drake Marshall with the bucket. Last year he scored 6.2 points a game. That's a pretty move for Marshall, and it ties the ball game all up at 2. Elwood straight away now into the right wing to Barnes. Barnes takes a Mitchell screen, and now they're looking to get it down low to Mitchell on the roll, but instead right back out to Barnes with Marshall on him. Barnes, yo-yo dribble, crossover, looking to go right. He does get by his man, and the pass from Mitchell goes out of bounds. That pass would have been a wide open Mitchell, would have had an opportunity for an electric slam. Instead, a turnover with 17:57 to go. So far, a very quickly played ball game, but neither team really scoring. 2-2, your score here from DeSales University. They're looking for, in the post, Eberhardt. Instead, they kick it back around outside to the Colonels. And they find Marshall coming off a screen, almost stolen away. A great play there by Timmy Edwards defensively. And Edwards into the open court will not finish. Mitchell will put it up. That will fall on the rebound and put in by Caba Mitchell. Edwards couldn't get it high enough on the glass to drop, and we'll have a foul call. They'll stay here, and that'll go on Caba Mitchell for a hold. That's Mitchell's first, the team's first. Checking in will be Donovan Breeding for Wilkes. Breeding 5.4 points a game last year. 6'4" junior guard out of Manassas, Virginia. Osborne High School. Gives them some size at the guard position for the Colonels. And now Edwards almost with another steal, went through his hands, and Chafee will recover. Now into the corner for Marshall. Spins off. Elwood goes to the paint. No call there. A lot of contact. Elwood comes away with the ball. As I said, Mitchell went straight up. Now back to Elwood. Elwood drives into the paint. Hop step. Gives it to Mitchell. He can't hang on. Now Edwards fighting for the basketball. Coming out of that scrum is Landon Henry. Something he is not too unfamiliar with, was a member of the Wilkes football team. They're looking for, coming off a screen, Zach Gula with a triple. His first of the year, his first of his college career for the freshman out of Northampton High School. Played with Aiden Elwood at Northampton. Won a district title as a member of the Concrete Kids. Elwood goes off a screen, drives in the paint, kicks it out to Barnes. He can't catch it. If he did, he would have opened 3. Now they get it to Boylan on the right wing. Boylan looking to go on Gula. Boylan into the paint, dishes to Mitchell. Check that, Edwards. Edwards puts it up and in for his first bucket of the night. And now Marshall. Ooh, it looked like he almost walked. Now thought about a 3 twice. Instead, will kick inside to Breeding. That won't go. Breeding will muscle his way to a bucket. Donovan Breeding with the basket. And that will give the Colonels a 7-6 lead. Straightaway Barnes into the right wing for Boylan. 2 subs will come in for DeSales. It's the next whistle. Now Boylan goes to the bucket. He can't get it to fall. Mitchell shook it free, but he shook it right to Zach Gula. Also, on the men's side this year, they're playing with the extended 3-point line that the Division I men were playing with last year. Gula 3. That won't fall. Oh, he didn't really hit anything. Hit the front of the rim. Now out to Elwood. Elwood looking to go on Henry. He puts it up. That is a partially blocked shot. They get it to Edwards, who will drive on Gula. Gets stuck, put it up, and that will almost fall. Boylan tries to knock it free. Now Mitchell will get fouled. And finally, a frantic situation will come to an end. So we'll have multiple substitutions checking in. For Wilkes coming in and is number 20. Well, he shouldn't actually be in the game because he checked out. Unless it was for an injured Cooper Chafee, he should have waited till the second whistle to check in because that's what they were doing on the other sub. Now checking in will be Dat Lambert for DeSales, along with Jordan Holmquist. Checking in for Wilkes is number 20. That's Jackson Schaefer. And number 2 for the Colonels, that's Matthew Daveheiser. Daveheiser, 19 a game as in his senior year in high school, as Mitchell misses the foul shot. Rebound by Dat Lambert inside Edwards, puts it up, puts it in. Hard work there for Edwards. He gets it done. Schaefer averaged 22 points a game his senior year at Delaware Valley. Both two terrific freshmen out of the PIAA. Inside Breeding, looking to go on Mitchell. Turns the corner, but he walked. Turnover, Wilkes. Checking in is Elijah Eberly. Eberly, a 6'4" freshman out of Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, 18.8 points a game. First team all-section and all-area last year. Also member of the football team at Elizabethtown. And now we will take a timeout on the floor. Wilkes calls a timeout. They trail 8-7. And really a frantic start to this game through the first about 6 minutes of the game. Is also going to check in during the timeout, number 22. And that is Nickerson DeMelfi, who played a lot as a freshman for the Colonels last year. Really had a good year. 4.2 points a game for DeMelfi last year. As Wilkes breaks their timeout huddle. And they will onto the court. DeSales will join them. And it will be a DeSales possession out of the timeout. Holmquist, who has to go against a trap for Wilkes. They couldn't really do anything, and that leads to a wide open Barnes right wing three. That won't fall. And the rebound by Donovan Breeding, and Wilkes is looking to run. Straight away, Breeding. Now into the left wing for Gula. Gula takes a Breeding screen, trying to find him down low. Instead, kicks out to Schaefer. Schaefer down to Breeding. Breeding lost the basketball. Will regain his dribble and now drive. And it's back to Breeding. He traveled. Second time today. Just got his feet going a little too quickly. DeMelfi tried to drive before, then got stopped on the baseline. Good job defensively for DeSales. As now Barnes will work on the press. It's a zone press by Wilkes. They get it back to Holmquist, and they break it rather easily, 20 on the clock. Barnes looking for a high screen by Edwards, instead just passes to him. Now to Lambert on the left wing. Barnes straight away, coming off a screen, and now he'll drive on Breeding. Now they switch off to Melfi, but Barnes stepped on the baseline. He's asking for a push, but the call by official David Ganal is that he stepped out of bounds. 13:54 to go. Checking in, Will Pollock. Pollock, a sophomore out of Kingsway Regional High School in New Jersey. He averaged 0.3 points a ball game last year, but he's going to have a little more playing time this year. Gula. Now Schaefer. DeMelfi, and we'll have an illegal screen. Late call, but a good call, as Schaefer absolutely rung up what looked to be Timmy Edwards. And checking in for DeSales will be Darnell Vaughn. Vaughn, a 6'3" sophomore out of Wilmington, Delaware. Salesiana. He was named All-State Delaware as a senior. And he now Lambert. Holmquist. And out to Vaughn. Vaughn looking for somebody. He'll find Eberly on the wing. Pollock. They're coming out on that screen, and Lambert will drive to the basket. Thought about a 16-footer. Now to Eberly with 7 on the clock. Holmquist, step back triple. That is around the rim and out, but Lambert gets the offensive rebound and puts it up and in. DeSales with a 10-7 lead. 13 minutes to go. Driving DeMelfi, offensive foul DeMelfi. Lowered the shoulder into the body of Dat Lambert, an offensive foul on Nickerson DeMelfi. And that will be his first. Fourth on the team. 13:05 to go in the first half. Holmquist working against the trap. Now to Pollock. Now to Eberly. And they break it pretty easily. But that's more of a tempo press anyway. As a Holmquist three, step back, no. That won't fall. Almost a foul by Pollock as he went right into Devenheiser. Down low, Schaefer could not handle the ball, but they say it was off the hands of Darnell Vaughn. Checking into the ball game for Wilkes is Bradley Ancreone. And Gula will inbound. He gets it into Breeding. Breeding into the corner. And now Breeding will drive. Puts it up. That won't fall. It was a wild shot by Breeding. And Edwards came down with the rebound. Now Lambert drives into the paint. Gets his shot blocked by DeMelfi. But Lambert gets it back. Tie-up coming. And it'll be Wilkes ball on the possession arrow. Checking in, back in, will be Jason Eberhard, along with Kaba Mitchell for the Bulldogs. And Sean Collier for Wilkes. Colonels with the ball, coming up with no pressure against them. Now to Collier. He's looking down low for Schaefer. Now Eberhard to Collier. Lambert right on him. Collier and a travel. Moved his back pivot foot. So a turnover for Wilkes. There's been a couple of those when they've gotten trapped near the baseline that they've extended their pivot foot too much. Now a good trap by the Colonels, but DeSales was able to break it, but they were in some trouble for a little bit on the near sideline with Holmquist. Now Holmquist will drive, almost travel, but they say he got the ball knocked away from him. And now Mitchell up and a foul. Basket for Kaba Mitchell. The foul will go on Bradley and Creone. And Mitchell will go to the line for the bonus. Checking in for the Colonels is number 13, Drake Mitchell. As Mitchell to the line. He was a 58% foul shooter last year, missed both his first time to the line. That one will go. 13-7 Bulldogs. Eberhard, Marshall. Now a driving, and we'll have an illegal screen called on Eberhard as he took one extra step and screened off Mitchell. For Eberhard, that'll be his second foul. One and over the top, and there the illegal screen. So he will check out, and he probably won't see any more action till the second half as he picked up his second foul. That shot won't fall, and now thinking about a three is Holmquist. Instead, he'll pull it back out. Pollock. And Pollock will put up a three. That won't fall. Looked like it hit the wire, but Vaughn with the rebound, but he stepped out of bounds, so wave off the shot. No shot. And it will be Wilkes basketball. Good move by Vaughn, but when he came down to catch the basketball, he stood out of bounds. An absolute war going on down to the post between Schaefer and Vaughn. A triple put up by Collier, rolls around and falls. Took a trip around the world. Collier's triple will make it a three-point game, 13-10. First triple on the year for Sean, his first points of the year. Now to Pollock for the Bulldogs, to Holmquist on the left wing. Now straight away Vaughn. They're looking for Pollock in the high post. Now Pollock straight away. Left wing Holmquist. He'll drive to the basket. Puts up a floater. That'll fall. Holmquist with the bucket will extend DeSales' lead back out to 5, 15-10. And Wilkes will look to answer. Colonels with 18 on the shot clock. Marshall pulls up for a long two. That won't get anywhere near close to going in as it was short. Holmquist streaking the other way. Off the dribble, tries to drive on Collier, but pulls it back out. Three substitutions waiting at the table for DeSales at the next whistle. Shot by Vaughn, that'll drop, and that's his first career college basket, and it leads to a timeout by Wilkes with 9:44 to go in the first half of play. It's DeSales 17, Wilkes 10. DeSales University offers both on-campus and virtual tours for students interested. Schedule your tour today at www.desales.edu/visit. or give admissions a call with any questions you have about applying to DeSales at 1-8774-DeSales. We hope to see you soon on campus, and go Bulldogs. So far, DeSales has been kind of stagnant offensively when it comes to getting shots to go, but they've opened up a 7-point lead for Wilkes. They were hot early, but for the past couple of possessions haven't been really even able to get a shot up. Some very good defense by the Bulldogs makes it so that they have a 7-point lead, and which forced a timeout by Izzy Metz. And Metz, he's in his 7th season. He's spent time at Boston College and Cornell as an assistant to Steve Donahue, who's now the head coach at Penn, who's a long lineage of a coaching tree for Donahue, who's in that Fran O'Hanlon coaching tree, the legendary Penn coach Fran Dunphy, who's now the athletic director at Temple. As Wilkes will inbound the ball, Breeding will do the honors out of the timeout. Breeding. Now they turn it over to the Colonels, but getting back on the basketball is, and now a shot inside won't fall. Good play there defensively to stop the shot by Marshall after the steal by Chafee. Driving, Boylan will dish to Elwood. Elwood puts it up, that won't fall, and the rebound by Chafee. Straight away, that's Chafee looking for Breeding down low. The pass knocked away by Kaba Mitchell. Good play there by the Bulldogs to create the turnover. Edwards straight away. Now it is Kristen Gooden who checked in the ball again. The freshman deals to Timmy Edwards. Edwards puts it up and in. Gooden, brother Mike, he played at DeSales a couple of years back, 5 years ago. From 2011 to 2015, he scored 467 career points. Now in the post, Chafee on Mitchell. Drop step, can't go anywhere. Trying to find somewhere to kick it out to. He finds Collier with 12 on the clock. They repost. And it's Mitchell on Chafee. Chafee gets stuck again in the post. That time it looked like he might have walked. Instead, they kick it out to Henry. Chafee again with 1 on the clock. No shot will get off before a shot clock violation. And you can thank that shot clock violation if you're DeSales on the defense by Kaba Mitchell. Twice, he single-handedly trapped Chafee on the baseline. As now there's a small discussion with Scott Koval, as Eberly will check in. He'll check in from Mitchell. And DeSales will bring the ball in the forecourt in the person of Ryan Boylan. Now Eberly on the right wing, dishes to Edwards down low, and he'll get called for a travel on the spin move. And bringing it into the forecourt will be Collier. Collier, straight away. He'll put up a triple. That won't fall. Out of bounds. Off of Chafee. Bulldogs will bring it to the forecourt. No real urgency that time, Gooden. To Eberly. They're trying to post up Mitchell, but they can't find him on good defense by Breeding. Now Mitchell check it. Edwards gets the basketball, and he puts it up and in. Marshall the other way. He'll pull up for 2. That'll drop. Drake Marshall with the bucket. For Marshall, that's his first 2 points of the game. 1 for 4 shooting. Elwood. Boylan. And now straight away to Elwood. He'll take an Edwards screen, get through 2 defenders, Edwards will put it up, and a teardrop will fall. Timmy Edwards with the bucket. Straight away, that is Chafee. They're looking for Breeding down low. Pass too far in front, and it goes out of bounds. Checking back in for the Bulldogs is Mason Barnes. As Boylan now in discussion with Scott Koval before bringing the ball in. They do to Barnes. And now to Edwards. Barnes on the left wing looking for a cutting Boylan. Instead they find Elwood. Elwood will drive, get stopped nicely by Breeding, and now to Barnes. Into the lane, floater is up, and that will drop. For Barnes, that is his first bucket, his first career college points. He scored over 1,000 in high school, was an all-stater as a senior, and now a walk will be called on Chafee as he hop-stepped into the dribble. 25-12, DeSales with the lead. Checking in is Zachary Gula. Well, Gula had a triple earlier. And for Gula, it's kind of a Eastern Pennsylvania Conference homecoming, as he played in the Eastern Pennsylvania Conference in high school. And a couple of his ex-combatants on the court against him tonight, as a shot by Edwards is wild and no good. But the follow-up by Eberle is good. His first bucket and his first career college points. We talked about in the open that this is a very young DeSales team, and already we've had 6 Bulldogs score their first ever college points. Driving into the lane is Marshall. He'll kick, and Landon Henry will put up a shot. That'll go off the side of the backboard and is nowhere close to falling. And now Barnes in transition will dish to Eberle. They kick it back out to Barnes, and they'll look to set something up. Right wing, Elwood. Now to Boylan. Boylan to the basket, tries to step through and kicks it back out to Edwards with 7 on the clock. Eberle thought about a shot inside to Edwards. He'll put it up against the shot clock and put it in. Timmy Edwards with the bucket. For Edwards, he now has 12 on 6 for 9 shooting. As getting the ball stolen away from him is Landon Henry, and looking to solo is Boylan. He'll put it up, get his shot blocked, but he'll get fouled. To go to the line will Ryan Boylan. And for Boylan, he's a guy who comes to DeSales after leaving Easton High School as the second all-time leading scorer there to Terrence Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, who scored 1,392 points, would later go on to play at the Texas Rio Grande, as Boylan scored 1,314 points for the Red Rovers, was a 3-time All-Conference and All-Area selection, makes the first foul shot, and a 2-time Easton Rotary Tournament MVP. Back into the ball game is Eberle. And DeSales right now has 11 healthy players on the roster, as missing tonight's game will be Brady Wilson. All 11 of those players have already played. So very good depth for Scott Koval and the Bulldogs tonight, as David Heiser brings it into the forecourt, knocking it away. Good defense by Vaughn. Edwards actually checking Eberle, and he gets it knocked away, but they say it goes off the foot of Eberle out of bounds. We'll be here with you tomorrow night for the DeSales University Women, 7 o'clock, here on the DeSales University Sports Network. Every Thursday and every Friday for the next 5 weeks, you can watch DeSales basketball, 7 o'clock on the DeSales University Sports Network. Gula will drive. He'll put it up. He'll put it in. Zach Gula with the bucket. He now has 5. And straight away, Boylan. Right at the DeSales logo. Just put in last year over the summer. They redid the court here at Belair Hall as Boylan drives and gets it stripped away by Gula. Good defensive play. Outside for David Heiser. He'll throw up a triple. He will drop the triple. We'll get a timeout by DeSales as Scott Koval not liking where this game has gotten as Wilkes on a run. They've scored 5 straight. It's now 31-17. So, Wilkes with a little bit of a run. They cut the deficit to 14. It was 18. DeSales really went on a shooting tear as we have 3 minutes and 40 seconds left before the half. It's only a 30-second timeout, so both teams coming right back out on the court. DeSales will join Wilkes as the Colonels already out on the court. And DeSales does join them. As see, they have inbound the ball as it will be Boylan. And he'll get it in. And they'll slowly bring it into the forecourt in the person of Boylan with 25 on the clock. Into the corner, Lambert. He weaves through traffic, and he'll get bumped. That foul will go on Landon Henry. Actually, check that. It'll go on Matthew David Heiser. It'll be a 1-and-1, the 8th team foul on the Colonels. Foul shot is up and good by Lambert. Last year, the Allentown native was 86.2% from the line. Another interesting storyline, him and Aiden Elwood both played together when Elwood was a sophomore at Allentown Central Catholic. Elwood spent one of the 4 years he had in high school at Allentown Central Catholic. And then the other 3 years were at Northampton High School, where he scored over 1,200 points. Lambert hit both foul shots. Driving, Gula puts it up. That won't fall. Rebound, strong rebound by Barnes, and he's looking to push. Barnes out to Holmquist. Holmquist back to Barnes. He'll put up the triple. He'll drop the triple. Mason Barnes with the bucket. He now has 5. And it's a 36-17 Bulldogs lead. In the other ball game going on tonight that involves a DeSales team, it's DeSales and Wilkes as David Heiser puts up a triple, and that won't fall. Out of bounds, the rebound to the Colonels. And in that ball game, DeSales leads 29-20. As in the ball game right now, Avery Jordan leading the Bulldogs with 6, and Horton leading the Colonels with 4. Here, Edwards looking to get a steal. He does. He'll put it up. That will drop. And another bucket for Timmy Edwards as he has 14. Just how Timmy Edwards has come out with a fire already in the first half of this game, it looks like it might be a special year for the DeSales senior. David Heiser puts up a shot. That won't fall. Rebound Edwards. Another one, and a strong one at that. 38-17, 2:15 to go. Edwards with, that was actually his first rebound of the night. I would have to question the live stats that we have there as he gets that one blocked. Good job inside it. Came off the hands of Chafee, as now he will get a chance at a triple. He traveled. And I don't think he realized how open he was, did Cooper Chafee. He traveled, 1:55 to go. 38-17, Bulldogs with the lead. And Jordan Holmquist will bring it in. And now bringing it into the forecourt, Barnes. Barnes. Wilkes, they're in a zone now. They've left the man-to-man. It looks like they're in a little bit of a 3-2 zone. Inside, the pass was intended for Edwards. The foul, that'll go on Eberhardt. That's his 3rd. So Eberhardt comes right back into the game. He picks up his 3rd foul, and that's not a small problem for Wilkes as he started the game at center for the Colonels. And he has had a pretty good game when he's been in there. He's had some foul issues, though. And Marshall will replace him. Edwards in the line for a 1-and-1, 9th team foul. 1:40 to go. Edwards on the year last year, 74.5% foul shooter. And that one is up and good. And that'll give him 15 already. As Wilkes tried to inbound the ball, not realizing it was only a 1-on-1. Next foul would put DeSales in the double bonus. Edwards thought that was a miss. He almost committed a lane violation. Shot went in anyway. It's his 16th point of the night. Left wing for Gula. On Holmquist. Now straight away Marshall. Marshall almost got his pocket picked. And now into the corner, Gula. Gula will find Chafee. And now Marshall thought about a triple use. Chafee screen into the middle. Foul line jumper. That'll drop off the glass. Not an easy shot. The outstretched arm of Caba Mitchell was trying to prevent him from hitting that shot, but it didn't matter. 40-19, a 21-point lead for the Bulldogs here in the first half. A minute to go. Into the high post to Elwood. He kicks it out. Mitchell thinks about a long two, and that was way off. And going the other way is Marshall. Edwards puts his hand in the cookie jar, but they'll actually call it on Barnes as a block. And DeSales a little bit lucky there as Edwards almost picked up that foul. For Edwards, that would have been, actually it only would have been his first foul. Only one foul on DeSales in the whole first half. Marshall loses the ball. And Holmquist up to Elwood. And he will not finish. Rebound, Edwards puts it up, puts it in. 18 for Timmy Edwards. He is having a night. Out of bounds, knocked away by Barnes 29 seconds ago. DeSales will get one last shot as a 2-second differential, shot clock and game clock. (42-19), 23-point DeSales lead as they have really led most of this game. The last time Wilkes had a lead was at 7-6. Gula with a triple. For Gula, his second of the ball game, that'll give him 8 points, and he's come out to play today so far. 2 triples in the scorebook for him as Barnes will hold. Edwards, a screen for Barnes to Mitchell. Mitchell puts it up, puts it in. Caba Mitchell with the bucket. That will end the first half. DeSales on a run. They lead 44-22 at the end of one half. We will take a break and we'll be back with halftime stats and first half analysis here on the DeSales University Sports Network. Back here at DeSales University, Bellaire Hall. First half stats for you. The DSN halftime stats. At halftime, DeSales with the lead, 44-22. DeSales in the first half, 18 for 34 shooting. Wilkes, 9 for 22. 1 for 7 from outside for DeSales, 4 for 9 from Wilkes. 19 rebounds for DeSales, 11 for the Colonels. DeSales only turned it over 7 times. Wilkes turned it over 16. So that's a big difference there. When you look at the individual scores, we'll give you the Colonels first. For them, scoring 3 points for Sean Collar, 6 points for Drake Marshall, 8 for Zach Gula. He leads the team. For Donovan Breeding, he has 2. 3 for Matt Davidheiser, and that's the scoring for the Colonels for their 22 points. For DeSales, 18 already for Edwards, 7 for Mitchell, 5 for Barnes, 4 for Elwood, 2 for Boylan, and then for Pollock, if you check it, Lambert, he had 4. 2 for Eberly, 2 for Holmquist, 1 for Gooden. That is from the foul line. That's your first half scoring for DeSales, as they have a 44-22 lead after 1 half of play here at Bellaire Hall. We'll try to give you a little bit of an update on the women's game at the half. The DeSales University women all over the Colonels of Wilkes, 41-27. And in that ball game, Avery Jordan and Lindsay Welsh, the leading scorers, 7 and 6. We'll see them tomorrow night. And that's going to be another tough DeSales women's team as they look for their 3rd straight conference championship in the MAC Freedom. It's going to be a little bit of a different style this year, of course, because of the fact that we're playing our first game of the year and it is early February because of the whole way the MAC Freedom's scheduled and the fact that they got back to basketball tonight on February 11th. We'll play 5 weeks. For the DeSales men and women, they will play Wilkes tonight and tomorrow. Next weekend, they'll play FDU Florham. The men home on Friday. The women home, actually check it, the men home on Thursday, the women home on Friday. Then they will play Arcadia. That's going to be a good Arcadia ball club with their leading scorer, Daquan Davis, on the men's side, who is going to North Texas next year as a graduate transfer. The women will play Arcadia on Friday night. That will be on the road. Thursday night they'll be home. The men will be home on Friday night. Then Eastern, who's a part of the Commonwealth this year after being many years in the Freedom. Women home on Thursday, men home on Friday. And finally, the new member in the Freedom, Lycoming, they will come to Bellaire Hall on March 11th and March 12th. Other members of the Freedom this year, DeSales and Fairleigh Dickinson, Lycoming, Misericordia, Wilkes, and Arcadia. The teams that are playing in the Commonwealth, Albright, Alvernia, Eastern, Lebanon Valley, Messiah, Stevenson, and Widener. Some schedule things happening this year. Misericordia's men's team will not play. Their women's team will, but they will have a bye the first 2 weeks. For the Wilkes men and the women, they will have a bye the final week for the men, the second week for the women. And also, Fairleigh Dickinson's men's team will have a bye the second to last week. So if you're looking at the league schedule, which is up on the MAC Freedom website, you can also check out all DeSales news on the various social media fields and DeSalesathletics.edu for all of that. And then, of course, the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram for all your other up-to-the-minute DeSales University updates. Also, tomorrow night, a shout-out to the DeSales University Watch Party, led by Dan Villani. They had one tonight before the men's game. There'll be one tomorrow for DeSales University alumni and fans, as now both teams back out onto the court, so they will do that again tomorrow night. 6:45 for that. Wilkes back onto the court. Edwards already with 18. Massive first half for him. The Bulldogs will join the Colonels on the floor, and it will be DeSales' ball. And if you're Wilkes, you need to shoot the ball better. DeSales, you just need to keep doing what you've been doing because of the fact it has really worked. They're up 44-22. Bulldogs will get it into Barnes. Barnes into the forecourt. Back to Elwood. Now to the corner to Barnes. Over to Edwards. Edwards, he will drive. Gets double teamed, keeps the ball, puts it up. That'll not drop. But Boylan will get the ball, but it goes off Ryan and out of bounds. Almost a great save there by Ryan Boylan, but he is doing yeoman's work on the offensive glass tonight. He has been shaking balls free, getting offensive rebounds. He has done a terrific job. Heady player. Really understands the game as driving is Mitchell. Now Chafee. He can't get away from Mitchell. Now Eberhard throws it up. That won't drop. And out of bounds off of Wilkes. But maybe Boylan's such a heady player because his father, a terrific basketball official. Kevin Boylan worked the state final in Pennsylvania a couple of years ago in the Lehigh Valley. And his brother is playing baseball at Misericordia University. Elwood will drive off the fast break, kicks to Mitchell. Mitchell puts it up. He gets partially blocked. And rebound by Chafee. Into the corner. That's Marshall. Down low, Eberhard. Turn around, kick it out. Marshall a triple. That'll not drop hard. Back of the iron. And one thing we really haven't talked about is Mitchell to Edwards. Up and in. 20 for Mitchell. So Edwards with his 20th point of the game, and now we'll have an offensive foul on an illegal screen. And guess who? It's Eberhard, and if that's on him, and it is. It's his fourth. As he gets called for a push-off. 3 of his fouls have been on illegal screens. As bring it into the forecourt will be Barnes. Wilkes with a little bit of pressure. Now back to Barnes. And they run the offense. Elwood. Mitchell. In low to the post. Back to Mitchell. He puts it up. Puts it in. Great. Give and go. Edwards to Mitchell for the bucket. 48-22. DeSales holding 26. Boylan almost with a great steal. Now he does get it up ahead. Edwards. He will finish with the slam for Timmy Edwards. He's got 22. Gula will check back in for Wilkes at the next horn. It's 50-22. DeSales jumping out to a hot start in the second half. Driving Marshall. He'll put it up. He'll get fouled. Boylan walked under him, and he'll get called for the foul. First foul on Boylan, only the second foul. Check the third foul on DeSales the whole game. First foul in the second half. Foul shot is up and good by Marshall. Checking back in is Gula. Collier, he'll replace him. As the second shot is up and also good. 17:39 to go in the half. Boylan, Mitchell, now Barnes. They're going to kick to Edwards. Edwards thought about a 3 for a second. He can hit that shot. Now Boylan, he'll put up the 3, and that'll not fall. Edwards with the rebound, and he's fouled, but it's on the floor, so he won't head to the line. Games tonight in the MAC Conference. In the Commonwealth, Eastern and Albright already postponed. Arcadia will play Delaware Valley. Florham against Lycoming, Messiah against Lebanon Valley, and Stevenson against Widener on the men's side. Try to get to some scores from those games before we get out of here. Shot by Edwards. They will give him 2, and it's up and good. So they did give him the shot after a discussion by the referees. We'll give you a little bit of a scoring update. It's the second foul shot by Edwards is good. Start the second half. Arcadia leads Delaware Valley 36-34 in that ball game. In the second half, Lycoming 57, FDU 4 and 51. A Schaefer triple is no good by Wilkes. As Elwood drives into the middle, he'll lose the ball. Mitchell up and in. At Lebanon Valley, they lead Messiah 53-42 on the men's side. And in the final game of the night, Widener leads Stevenson, as we'll have a foul called here on Caba Mitchell, his second. Widener leads Stevens 49-42. Checking in is Ellerby. And checking back in Lambert for the Bulldogs. Wilkes will get it in long to Marshall. And now Gula. Almost another steal for Edwards. Bodies will fly, and getting it back is Marshall. He'll pull up for 3, and he'll drop the triple. Drake Marshall with the 3, his second of the ball game, and it gets Wilkes back within 54-27. Lambert going through and almost getting knocked down by Chafee. Now low to Edwards. Ellerby. And it's knocked away off the hands of Eberly. And now to Chafee to Marshall. Thought about a triple. He'll drive on Lambert. Lambert will get knocked down. Kick it to Gula. Gula rattles around, will not fall. And Eberly with the rebound. Streaking Timmy Edwards. They didn't see him. Now they do. They get it to Edwards. He puts it up and in. Timmy Edwards with the bucket. For Edwards, now is 26. Gula. He'll match that 2 with a 2 of his own. He now is 10. First Colonel in double digits. 56-29. 15:20 to go. In the third quarter, Arcadia leads Delaware Valley on the women's side 42-27. They'll try to get to some of those women's scores too. Now Barnes drives, gets it knocked away from himself, but gets it right back and puts it up and in. DeSales offense in full display today so far. The other way, a Marshall triple. Instead, he throws it away. But getting the ball right back was, and a fortuitous bounce was Marshall, and Izzy Metz will call a timeout. So that'll give us some time to give you the rest of the out-of-town scores as we have them. It's a full timeout, as we'll get you the out-of-town scoreboard right now. We'll first give you the DeSales score, which is they are leading Wilkes 52-29 as they have gotten out to a hot start in the second half. Only 2 points so far in the third quarter for Wilkes, and DeSales is absolutely on top of the Colonels by 23 points. At the half, Albright and Eastern are tied at 32 in women's basketball. 43-27, Lycoming leads FDU. In the 2 other games, Widener leads Stevenson 35-28. We'll get the other 2 scores for you in a second. And then the other scores, Messiah over at Lebanon Valley. That is a 40-19 score. DeSales with the ball. Pollock, Vaughn. Vaughn will drive into the paint, kick it out to Holmquist. And the Bulldogs will restart the offense. crossover dribble, yo-yo dribble by Holmquist. Tries to drop his defender. Instead, he'll just pull it up, and he'll drop it as the shot clock expires. And Holmquist found the one person who's always open, and that's the rim. Dropped the bucket for Holmquist on a turnaround jumper. Steal by Vaughn. Gets it to Holmquist. Jordan will pull up for three as Breeding left him, and he'll drop the triple. Jordan Holmquist with the bucket for Holmquist. That's his first triple of the year for the three-point marksman, and he has 2 straight buckets. If they get Holmquist going, it's going to be very hard to stop this Bulldog team. Straight away 3 by Breeding. That is good. Pollock. Now to Holmquist. Holmquist, he's feeling it. Almost pulled up again. Now Pollock off of a Eberle screen. In the corner, Lambert for 3. And that'll fall. Lambert with the triple. And now DeSales with a 66-34 lead. 13-10 to go. And the pass out of bounds off the hands of Donovan Breeding. Statistical breakdown right now. Holmquist has 7 with those last 2 buckets. 26 for Edwards, 11 for Mitchell. And then 7 for Barnes, 4 for Boylan, and then Eberle with 2, 7 for Lambert, and 2 for Vaughn. That's your scoring so far for DeSales. For Wilkes, 10 for Gula, 5 for Breeding, is now Lambert with the ball, 3 for Devitheiser, 13 for Marshall, and 3 for Kyer. Driving, Lambert loses the ball, gets it back. And now it's to Pollock. Pollock will drive, and he'll get called for an offensive foul. Ran right into the freshman guard, number 2, Matthew Devitheiser. Knocked him down and gets called for the foul. That's his first only. 66-34, Bulldogs with the lead. Game was tight at the beginning, first 10 minutes, but DeSales has been able to extend their lead. They took the lead 17-10 and really haven't looked back. The last time that the Colonels led was 7-6. DeSales would jump out 8-6, and now a triple by Schaefer won't fall. DeMelfi skies for the rebound. He's on the floor, gets knocked around, and a steal for the Bulldogs. Eberle comes up with it. Now Holmquist into the forecourt. Holmquist, Eberle. Pollock. Pollock. DeMelfi right on him. He's looking to shake him, though. Driving is Vaughn. Darnell puts it up and can't get it to drop. He'll go to the line for 2 shots. Nickerson DeMelfi will get charged with the foul. That's his second. The third on the team. And checking in will be number 15, Jack Bova. Bova missed the majority of last season for the Colonels as Vaughn makes the foul shot. But before he missed the majority at the end of the season, he was scoring 6 points a game last year, 50% foul shooter, 29% from beyond the arc. Vaughn looking for his second foul shot to give the first one a buddy. Palms the ball in his right hand, gives it 2 dribbles, spins it on the left and another dribble and another spin. And he'll put it up and in. 68-34. DeSales with the lead. Inside Schaefer, outside Devitheiser. He'll put it up and in. Matthew Devitheiser with the triple. That is his second of the ball game. And it brings Wilkes within 68-37. If you're the Colonels, you really need to start scoring in a hurry. But maybe more important to that, as a wide open 3 by Lambert will fall, his second in a row, is you need to stop DeSales offensively, and they've had a lot of defensive mistakes. Again there, and they just left at Lambert wide open. Into the corner, Schaefer, he'll drive, put it up. But before he put it up, he'll get fouled. (71-37). The foul will go on Eberle, his first. We'll get a foul now on Holmquist out front for harassing David Heiser. So right now, as Mason Barnes about to check back in for the Bulldogs, Gooden in there for DeSales, his second run of the game. Schaefer makes the screen, and a shot by DeMelfi off to the left of the backboard, and the rebound by Darnell Vaughn. Holmquist goes to the basket, puts it up. That foul will be before the shot, and it will go on David Heiser for a push. Checking out Holmquist, checking in Barnes. Eberle will put it up, put it in, and the foul. Count it, and a foul for Elijah Eberle. They haven't put it up on the board yet, but they indicated that it was a foul in a bucket. Eberle, well, they did give him the bucket, so now they put it up 74. So the scoreboard right, and there's 10:49 to go. David Heiser outside, Breeding, kicks, and a three by Bova. That's up and good. Jack Bova with the triple. He shot 29% from downtown last year. Into the corner for Eberle. Now Lambert. Lambert, crossover dribble back to Vaughn. He's thinking about going to the basket. He does. Puts it up, puts it in. Darnell Vaughn now has 6. And he has really been able to get to the basket as Vaughn, as Breeding down low. He's done some good things defensively. Eberle almost blocked it, which would have been a goaltend. Gooden comes out with the offensive rebound. And DeVaughn, now he'll go on Breeding. Puts it up. That one won't fall. He was hoping that there was a foul called there. You just see the look on his face as he put it a little too hard off the glass. Schaefer for 3. That's good. Jason Schaefer with the triple. His first of his college career. And it's now 76-43. DeSales with the lead. Lambert thought about 3. Instead, they'll throw it back to Vaughn. Gooden, foul line jumper. That won't fall. Shook loose by Ellerby, but it's brought down by Bova. David Heiser looking in the post. Schaefer, he'll drive. Puts it up, and he'll get fouled. Getting called for the foul is Ellerby. Just taking a look at the stats for the game so far. With the game Aiden Elwood has played, he has played very well defensively, passed the ball very well. You wouldn't think that he would be 0 for 4 from the floor with no points, as the foul shot no good by Schaefer. 22 a game last year at Delaware Valley High School in Midford, Pennsylvania. Starters back in for the Bulldogs. Barnes, Mitchell, Edwards, Boylan, and Elwood. As Schaefer will put it up, and that won't drop either. 0 for 2 on that trip for Jason. Boylan will drive. Kick it out. Elwood thought about a 3. He'll drive in and now find Barnes. Barnes to Elwood. Elwood back to Barnes. Barnes to Elwood. They were looking for Mitchell, and now they find Boylan. A wide open Elwood 3. That was partially blocked. Mitchell puts it up. He can't get it. Edwards, he can, and a foul. Timmy Edwards with the bucket. Give him 28 now on the night. He'll be going to the line for one more. For Eberhardt, that's his 5th personal foul. When he was in, he really played well, but the issue for Jason Eberhardt was it seemed that whenever he started to get a rhythm going. There was a foul called on him. He fouled out very quickly tonight. Eberhardt, he only played 8 minutes tonight so far for the freshman big guy who started for the Colonels. For Timmy Edwards, his career high is 31 points. He did it against Kings, did that February 1st, 1 year ago. He's right now at 28 points with 8:38 to go, and it looks like he could get a chance to get a career high. But it all depends on just looking at the score, if Scott Koval will keep the starters in the game. And that is, looks like right now he will. So looks to be that he will get the chance to get a career high, Will Edwards. For Wilkes, as Edwards puts the foul shot up and good. Gula already with a career high 10, but it's his first collegiate game, and he's had a great night as the freshman at Northampton, Pennsylvania, Northampton High School. Right wing, Bova. Out straight away, Chafee. Now DeMelfi. DeMelfi, Elwood on him. DeSales in the man-to-man. That's given Wilkes a lot of problems, especially DeSales getting into the passing lanes. Down low. Now they kick it out. A Bova 3. That won't fall. And Barnes with the rebound. They're looking for Boylan. Boylan, offensive foul. Lowered the shoulder, gets called for the foul. That is Ryan Boylan's second, team 7th. So any foul after this, Wilkes is in the 1-1. 8:05 to go. Almost picking up another one was Boylan right there as he really got into the passing lane. Shot by Chafee, that'll fall. And now Barnes will bring it into the forecourt. Elwood, Mitchell, down low. Edwards, up, no foul, but he got it to go anyway. He ties his career high at 31. And DeSales has 81 already. 7 minutes left to go. Pollock will check back in at the next horn for the Bulldogs. Of a foul, a hold down low. It's either going to go on Boylan or Mitchell. Will go on Mitchell. Third on Caba. Well, Pollock will replace Mason Barnes. And a 1-1 will now come to Cooper Chafee, 6'6" senior out of Liverpool, New York. That was an awkward-looking foul shot, but he got it to fall. Kind of double clutches on it almost. If he held it for a second longer, it would be called a lane violation. And it's not a good foul shot. He missed the second one. Mechanically, not good at all. As he went 1 for 2. Pollock. Mitchell. Looking for the high-low. Instead, out to Boylan. Boylan's 3 is good. Ryan Boylan with the triple. For Boylan, that's his first triple. Give him 7. He also has 7 rebounds for the freshman. Now Schaefer. Thought about an outside shot. Will drive out to Bova. For 3. That won't fall. Schaefer with the rebound. Puts it up. Almost gets his shot blocked by Mitchell. And a good basket for Schaefer. Looking for Edwards. Now they get it to Boylan. Edwards really trying to get himself open down low. Double teaming as Wilkes in a zone. Ball will go out of bounds off of Aiden Elwood. Checking in is Darnell Vaughn again. Edwards will go out Him and his 31 points will go out. He's had an amazing game so far tonight. Ties a career high. 5:53 to go in the second half. Colonels with the ball in the person of Nickerson to Melfi. Chafee steps through, can't find anything, and now back to DeMelfi. Chafee, DeMelfi. He will drive off a Chafee screen, get it outside to Schaefer. Schaefer will get it rejected by Kava Mitchell. An emphatic stuff by the DeSales Junior Center as checking in Gooden will replace Boylan. And a timeout, a full timeout by Wilkes. DeSales University offers both on-campus and virtual tours for interested students. Schedule your tour today at www.desales.edu/visit or give admissions a call with any questions you have about applying at 1-8774-DeSales. We hope to see you soon on campus, and go Bulldogs. You look at it right now, DeSales, while they had a little bit of a slow start, have really dominated this game offensively and have played some great basketball as they are out to an 84-48 lead. Wilkes had the lead last 7-6. Then DeSales would take the lead 8-6 on a basket by Timmy Edwards. And they have not looked back since. They're now up 84-48 with 5:29 to go. Both of these teams will be back in action tomorrow, 7 o'clock down at Wilkes. While here on the DeSales University Sports Network, the women will play here in a seasoning opening contest for them. They right now are up 75-45 on the Colonels in their ball game. That game down at Wilkes, they're led by, with 11 points for them, Michaela Reese. And then Avery Jordan has 10. For Wilkes, two players lead them. Caitlin Kinsel has a steal by Mitchell. Give it to Elwood. And then now with 10 for Wilkes in that game, Maddie Kelly leads them in scoring as they're trailing the Bulldogs 75-47. Vaughn will drive into the paint outside Gooden. Thought about a three, instead will drive himself. Puts up a runner and got the shot blocked. A little bit of contact there, no call. As now it's Chafee. Chafee to Schaefer. Schaefer, he will drive. DeMelfi. Schaefer thought about a jumper. Instead, it's Gula. Gula kicks back out after getting stopped on the baseline by Mitchell. 6 on the clock, a Gula triple. It's up and good. Zachary Gula with the 3. That gives him 13. His third triple of the ball game. And he has been one bright spot if you're Wilkes, as he has played a terrific ball game, the freshman. Now, that being said, this Wilkes ball club is missing Jake Roble, who would have been their starting center coming into the year, started last year. As Elwood goes to the basket, he'll put it up and in. That's his first college points. As he transferred in from Kutztown. He redshirted as a freshman at Kutztown, did not play last season, transferred to DeSales. Schaefer triple will not fall, and Gooden with the rebound. 86-51, Bulldogs with the lead. Thinking about the three is Elwood. He will drive. Put it up. Put it in. Oh, nice move by Aiden Elwood. Puts the ball in the basket, and it's 88-51. DeSales with the lead. Elwood had a terrific scholastic career, over 1,400 career points. Another Gula 3. This time it won't fall. And almost single-handedly led Northampton as Pollock will put it up. That won't fall. Rebound controlled by Vaughn. He'll step on the baseline, it looks like. Or they'll call a foul. They'll call a foul. But to finish the story on Elwood, he scored 1,488 points in his 4 years of high school, 232 at Allentown Central Catholic, over 1,200 at Northampton. And in his final game his senior year, he almost single-handedly beat State Power St. Joe's Prep. He had 28 points in the first half of that ball game, only 3 in the second half on a driving layup. But almost single-handedly beat a State Power. Prep would win that game 62-57, ending Northampton's season that year. But it was definitely a big showing in his final interscholastic game for Elwood. Darnell Vaughn at the foul line. He puts it up, he puts it in. First end of a 1-and-1. Vaughn looking to give the first one a buddy. Dribbles 3 times, rolls it on the left hand, and then puts it up, puts it in. Timeout, DeSales. DeSales will take the timeout, and they now have the lead 90-51 on the ball game. Darrell Vaughn now with 8 points. Darnell hadn't scored in his college career coming into this. Didn't score all last year. Has 8 today. Has played a very good ball game if you're DeSales. If you're Wilkes, you might be trailing this game by 39 points, but you have to like what you've seen out of Zach Gula if you were their head coach, Izzy Metz. He's got 13 points on 3 for 6 shooting from beyond the arc, 5 for 9 overall from the floor. And then Drake Marshall with 13 points. But if you're Wilkes, they need those complementary scorers. They have not really been able to get much together aside from Marshall and Gula. Matthew Devenheiser does have 6 points, but they need to find some of those other scorers, especially when they get Jake Roble back. He can really do some things inside, leading returning scorer at 9 points a game. But we really didn't touch on this yet. This is a team that lost Mark Mullins at 15 a game, Rob Pecorelli at 19 a game off of last year's team. Before that, they lost Marcus Robinson and Tommy Bowen. Bowen, now an assistant coach, all scored over 14 a game for them. And that's a lot of scoring that the Colonels need to replace. They're young, but they have a lot of talent. As checking into the ball game for the Colonels is number 10, Tristan Griffith. And Gula will drive to the basket, almost lose the ball, kick it out. And that's Brendan Higgins, number 12, a freshman. And putting it up and in is Gula. He now has 15. Higgins, a freshman out of Acabo, Pennsylvania. Pittstown High School, scored 11 a game. 6A district champ in Pennsylvania last year for him. 2:52 to go. Holmquist, Vaughn. Vaughn will drive, spin on Breeding, put it up, put it in, and the foul. Good move by Darnell Vaughn. The foul will go on number 21 for, that's Breeding, who will pick up the foul. 2:43 to go. And DeSales now flirting with possibly triple digits with 2:43 to go. The shot by Vaughn up and good. And he now has 11. So he's in double figures. And DeSales now has 4 players in double figures. A couple other with 7. Kick ball. Inbound the ball is Griffith. Griffith looking around, can't find anybody. But he finally finds Higgins. Higgins gets the ball picked away, but it will stay with Wilkes. Ellerby couldn't get there. Bova will inbound. Breeding will come out and get it. Almost lost the ball, did Donovan. Six on the clock. Bova, he puts up a 3. That is off iron, won't fall. Gooden, good save to keep it in. And with 2 minutes remaining, DeSales holding up by 40. Stays with the Bulldogs, 1:57 to go. $15 on the clock. Holmquist coming off a screen. They will find him, but he wasn't in a place to shoot the ball. Now he drives in, dishes. Eberle, he gets it knocked away. Holmquist had a wide open lane. He was just being unselfish there to give it to Eberle, but he could have put it up and in himself. Instead, he passed it away, got knocked out of bounds. Eberle with 10 on the clock. Vaughn, he's going to have to shoot. Or somebody's going to have to shoot. Vaughn, spin move, into lane, puts it up, out of bounds. Off of Eberle. 1:44 to go. Breeding on the left wing. He'll pull up for three. He won't find the bucket there. And Pollock with the rebound. Out to Gooden. Runs into the referee. Takes a dribble. Puts it down. Christian Gooden with the bucket. And that's his first career college point. And every freshman that DeSales has scored tonight. The only DeSales player that hasn't scored is Will Pollock. Driving to the basket is Bova. Kicks out. Minute to go. Breeding. Down low. Of a foul. And that'll be a 1-and-1. Eberle gets called. 5 on the clock. 1-and-1. DeSales with the lead, 96-53. Griffin at the line. Griffin's shot up, no good, off back iron. Pollock will come down and collect the ball. He'll bring it into the forecourt with 48 on the clock. Holmquist now to Mitchell. Out of Pollock with 12. Now Gooden, he'll try another three. That'll fall. Gooden with the shot. And it's now 99-53. DeSales flirting with double digits. They're not going to get there. Because I don't think Coach Coble would let them shoot the ball with where they're up. Breeding drops the jumper. I'm assuming they'll just run it out and win. And it'll be a final score of 99-55 as the clock will run out. And DeSales victorious opening night, 99-55, here on the DeSales University Sports Network. As they trailed early, but took the lead from the Colonels at 8-6. Since then, they did not look back. The scoring for the ball game for the losing Colonels of Wilkes, they were led by Zachary Gula with 15 points, 13 for Drake Marshall, 7 for Donovan Breeding, Jackson Schaefer with 5, 6 for Matthew David Heiser, 3 for Jack Boba, and Cooper Chafee with 3, along with 3 by Sean Collar. For the Bulldogs, Timmy Edwards led them with 31 points, tied a career high. Then 11 points for Caba Mitchell, 11 for Darnell Vaughn, 10 for Dat Lambert, 7 for Ryan Boylan, 7 for Mason Barnes, 7 for Jordan Holmquist, 6 for Kristen Gooden, 5 for Elijah Eberle, and 4 for Aiden Elwood. That's the scoring in the ball game. As DeSales will improve to 1-0 on the year, Wilkes will go to 0-1. They'll do this all over again tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at Wilkes. But for DeSales, they really played lights out offensively. They didn't make many mistakes all night. Wilkes, they started out well, but they just were not able to get shots to go, and DeSales was able to extend their lead up to 44 points, the winning margin, 99-55. In the other game for you, it's DeSales 75, Wilkes 52. That ball game has about a minute left in it, and it looks like the DeSales women will prevail in that game. They will be here tomorrow night. We'll be right with you, 6:55 on the DeSales University Sports Network on DeSalesAthletics.com. You can see it at athletics.desales.com/watch. So the final score tonight from Belair Hall at DeSales University, DeSales 99, Wilkes 55. This has been a production of the DeSales University Sports Network. Good night, everybody.